Today in this video we are going to discuss about the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. It is always called FSSAI, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, under which the Food Safety and Standard Act 2000 have come into existence for providing food safety. So this provision has been laid down in this Food Safety and Standard Act to provide very wholesome and the food free from deleterious matters. So a wholesome food grain should be given to the consumers. With that view, this act has been passed. So this has come into existence during 24/8/2006. Previously, there were so many acts on food safety and standards. The food, that is Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, and so many acts have been in existence, and that has been consolidated and has been brought into Food Safety and Standard Act. The various acts are Fruit Product Order, Meat Food Product Order, Vegetable Oil Products, and Edible Oil Packaging Order, and Solvent Extraction Oil, De-oiled Meal, and then Milk Products Order 1992, Food Safety and Standards Act. These were under the Food Safety and Standard Act, and now it has been brought into the Food Safety Act and rules and regulations, and this has been under the control of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India is the administrative ministry for the implementation of FSSAI. So now we will see the what is Food Safety and Standards Act 2006 that has come into existence during 24th August 2006. Under this has been the President assent has been obtained, and then subsequently it has been published in the Gazette also. Usually the act will be broad framework of the policy of the food safety, and then there will be regulations, bylaw and rules and other things will be there, and those are all called delegate legislation, which will be got approved by the parliament afterwards. So that is called delegate legislation. So all these put together coming under the Food Safety and Standards Act, and we'll see the FSSAI function, Food Safety Standards Authority of India function, that is framing of regulation, accreditation of certificate bodies. So the certificate bodies are to be meritoriously awarded the doing of the food safety, and then accreditation of labs should also be given proper accreditation. That means the on getting of accreditation, the fairness, goodness and the accuracy of the lab can be ascertained. That is called accreditation of labs to ascertain the food safety and food quality. Then advice and taking support to government. Then and there, if the government seek the support of the this body, they will give proper advice to the government and collect data on prevalence of biological risk and contamination of food and residues. So then and there, they will be collecting the various factors such as residual factors, and then the biological risk involved in if at all, if the food contains any contamination and all, they will be it will be undertaken by the Food Safety and Standard Authority. Information network across country, so the providing information across country about food safety and provide training program. Various training programs are also chartered by this FSCI, and development of technical standards for food sanitary and phytosanitary standards. Food sanitary we may know phytosanitary means the fitness of the grain for export, and simultaneously, if at all if the food grains are coming from from the other countries, that is import, when we take import food grains, then the phytosanitary authorities will see whether it is fit for Indian standards, and whether any voluntarily any exotic seeds have been added in that to spoil the other country. All these things will be seen by the phytosanitary authorities, and phytosanitary standards will be there. Food safety and standards awareness. These are all the functions of the FSSA. Then enforcement structure, how the food safety is enforced. For that, the structure hierarchy is there. That is, food safety commissioner is there. Then it is the highest nodal authority. Then under him, food safety officers, so many safety officers will be there. From food safety officer, so many food analysts will be functioning. Then action by designated office by food analysts, and appeal also can be made to the designated officer if at all if any grievance is there. Then the adjudication and appeal to tribunals also is there. These are all arranged for the enforcement of structures. And FSS license, another thing, the important thing is the licensing act, the FSS licensing and regulation of food business regulation 2011. This usually the license for food business under the schedule 1 items will be given, the license will be given under the license under the schedule. What are the items under schedule 1? For that the license will be given. And then the FSS food product standards and food additives also, where what all the food additives are there. Suppose if any items are added in the food, that is called food additives. For that regulation 2011 regulate the food additives. Then the another thing is food grain. What is food additives and all? Food grains whole means food grains free from argemone, that is a poisonous seed. A black color seed will be there, yellow flower it will be having, and if that there is chance for mixing in the naturally in the mixing in the food grain, that is very dangerous seed, a small minute seed, that is called argemone. And kesari dal or kesari in any form should not be there, and food grain shall not contain insecticide residue. These are all stipulated in food additives, that is food product standards and food additives. So now we will see the what is the additives in wheat and rice. In wheat, the moisture should not exceed to 14%. Foreign matter should not exceed 1%. In that 1%, there should not be, the mineral matter should not exceed 0.25, and the animal origin materials like hair or something, nail or whatever it may be, claw like that, animal origin should not exceed 0.1. And other edible grains, some of the, suppose if the wheat may contain the moong dal or the amaranthus seeds, and also barley also will be there. These are all edible items. Then this edible grain should not exceed 6%, that is including kernel bunt and ergot. So in the edible oil, edible grains, the kernel bunt and ergot is also included. Kernel bunt means the bunt disease, a fungus disease reported in kernel, that's why it is called kernel bunt. It will be the dark guru-like structure is affected by the Neovacia indica, that is fungus, and that eat away the portion of the wheat, that is called kernel bunt. It will be having fishy odor, that is called kernel bunt affected wheat, that should not exceed 3%. And then ergot is highly dangerous toxin. The wheat will be like if the fungus that is ergot fungus is affected, then the wheat will be like the pellet of rat. It will be appearing like that, and that is 0.5. It should not exceed 0.05, because this ergot will be producing ergotoxin that is highly dangerous to the health. So that ergotoxin should not exceed 0.05%. Then we will not more than 10% by count, or uric acid should not exceed 10 milligrams for 100 grams. That is uric acid 100 milligrams per kg. So the uric acid should not the residue contamination should not be more than 100 milligrams per kg. That is the uric weevil. And regarding aflatoxin is highly dangerous toxin produced by that is the toxin produced by the aspergillus flavus, a fungus called, and that fungus produces aflatoxin, and that should not exceed 15 micrograms per kg. 1 million micrograms in 1 gram. So 1 gram contains 10 million micrograms. So in 1 gram there should not be 15 micrograms. In 15 micrograms in per kg it should not be. And deoxynivalenol, that is called NOL, and that should not exceed 1000 micrograms per kg. So this is with regard to the wheat. And with regard to the rice, moisture is 16%. That is up to 15% maximum moisture is allowed. 15 to 16 with imposition of cut, the rice is accepted. Foreign matter is 1%, damaged is 5%, weevilled 10% by count, and then the FM plus damage range should not exceed 6%. So that is also another factor. Like that, in wheat, total foreign matter, other edible grain, and damage should not exceed 12%. Then we will be, these are all physical parameters. Now due to constant use of chemicals or insecticide, there is the possibility of the absorption of the insecticide by the grains. Say for example, when we continuously spray with certain chemicals in the godowns, there is the possibility of absorption of the toxin, and the nature of the toxin, even if you wash it or boil it, that will not go. So the toxin effect will be there. That's why we are very much concerned about the toxin which is adhered or which is inherent in the grain. So how this is identified? So we take 1 kg of food grain, either wheat or rice or whatever it may be. We are going to see the insecticide residue, and that is pulverized or made into flour 1 kg. And we need not take even 1 kg, we will take 10 grams or 20 grams like that. Then in 20 grams, with the help of solvent and all, we extract the insecticide separately, and other things we will be removing it, and the solvent plus insecticide, that will be reduced to, that will be the insecticide will be left alone, and other things will be separated. That is by means of volumetric analysis or by means of thin layer chromatography or gas chromatography, we will be identifying the toxic content, that is the residue content of the food. That is what the chemical. In the case of deltamethrin we are spraying, there is possibility of absorption of deltamethrin in wheat, that is 2 milligram per kg is allowed, and then in rice 2 milligram per kg, and milled grain 0.2, and wheat flour 0.3 milligrams per kg. These are all the limit of delta methylene. And as regards malathion, wheat 10 milligrams per kg and maize 0.05 milligram per kg and other food grains 4 milligram per kg and mill grains 1 milligram per kg. Then dichlorovas, these are all, we are not using this malathion and DDP. However, previously we used it, and then the DDP residue is wheat 7 milligram per kg, and then in rice 7 milligram per kg, and other food grains 1 milligram per kg, and then milled food grains 0.25 milligrams per kg. These are all the insecticide, that is insecticide limit. More than that, if it is reported that we should not use it, that has to be brought down to the level for which we may give aeration. In aeration something will go, and if at all if it is unfit for consumption, then the other alternate course of disposal methods to be adopted. But in FCI, as far as FCI concerned, we are not storing not more than 2 years maximum, and then within the 2 years the possibility of absorption of this the chemical residue is ruled out, and if at all if the grain is infested with copra and other serious pest, then there is a possibility for uric acid contamination. That is also ruled out because of timely curative treatment, period treatments are given by the FCI authorities. So there is no question of this. However, we should know the residual limits. So with this, we conclude this video.